What's that look like?
And
what the fuck are you guys doing? Yep.
We are live. Yeah. What are you guys doing?
Don't mind it. Thanks.
I was on a PoE fix. Sorry for not seeing the message.
It's okay. That's why I add everyone, to let them all know that, well, that you should probably be focusing at least a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all good, though. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Not bad. Not bad.
Oh. Pretty good. Chilling.
Well, I've been working on replacing all of the music here. It's been a little hard-pressed finding some of these songs because my dumbass named them things that weren't what they actually were, so I would know when to play them, but not how to locate them in case they got deleted. So
that's what you get for planning ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yes, well, we'll say that. So, Will, why are you shitty?
Just fucking... I just want to be different. That was really it.
God damn it, man.
That right, Monday was like super hectic, but like it's over now, so I don't really care.
That's fair. That's fair. Why was it hectic?
I just fucking... I got there and like did not sit down at my desk for more than 5 minutes all day long.
I
back
see.
and forth.
Everybody shit the bed, pretty much.
Kinda. It's kind of that way.
Yeah, me, I'm just looking at myself in cam, and I'm like, oh man, I should have shaved. I look grungy as fuck.
Fucking camera.
That's just what you want to go for, man. Grungy is the goal.
I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and get the beard back.
I'm going to be losing mine, or at least enough of it. That's happening tomorrow. I'm so excited to get some of this shit cut off. It's just...
Why? You don't like it?
Too much. It's too much,
No,
man.
no. It's too thick is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
So his barber's going to come by, thin it out.
Yeah, she's going to thin it out.
Yeah. It's not like he's getting rid of the beard.
No, I'm not gonna cut off the beard. It's just too much.
Go back to unshaven bub.
My shit is just fucking...
I don't think you could get rid of the beard. I think that your women would trigger the fuck out of you.
I mean,
I'd be pretty
you
upset.
used to not have it.
Red triggers me real hard.
I liked it when he had no beard.
Yeah, but you didn't say shaven. You said unshaven.
I said unshaven.
Bub, which means he's gonna go back to having a beard.
Yeah.
Which he already does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna regrow his grown beard.
And he was like this, and now he's like this.
Yeah, I'm a solid 45 right now.
All right.
Well,
All right.
at least you're not a 90 degree.
Yeah, it's true. It's very, very true.
Better than a limp 15, I guess.
God damn it. Oh, you're the best and worst, Will. Please don't ever change. So, aside from shitty day being shitty and all that, some of you guys I haven't talked to in a week. How have things been in that time?
Doing pretty good. Chill. Doing the usual.
Nothing really to report. This is pretty much the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, I'm just dealing with people, bastards.
I worked and then
Here's his
didn't.
lube.
You worked what, Annie?
I worked and then didn't.
You worked,
I did that too.
and then you didn't. How's work going, Annie? I know that you're putting rocks in trucks.
That shit sucks, man. I'm still doing the same shit. More rocks, more trucks.
More rocks, more trucks. Damn.
Yeah, if
Doing
this truck's
gathering,
are rocking and he's at work.
Yeah, well, I mean, no necessary puns there, I suppose, but can't be mad at money. I mean, it sucks, the workload, but can't be mad at money.
It's a truckload.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, it's pulling
Now
your
you
ass out of
see-
debt, which is good, which means you'll be at Bubfest.
I probably will. Unless I die.
Okay, all right. See,
We can hope.
the death or him being there, because I don't hope he dies.
Yes.
Yes. I hope he shows up and then dies there, so we have to go ahead and have like a really weird ceremony where we're trying to dig out a grave.
The ceremony where we call the police.
You guys better bury me face first.
Yeah, we're definitely just gonna bury him in Indiana.
We're gonna wait,
and not
wait,
send
hold
him
on.
back to his
Actually,
fucking
No,
family
the other
in
stipulation
Canada.
has to
To
be. you
be
have to
fair,
buried in the
he's
one-
Canadian. Who's really gonna
The
miss
plan is that there's actually a law at the park that if you die at the park, we can only bury your legs, your chest, head, and arms. They need new bike racks, so they're going with the ass initiative. So hopefully you got some thick cheeks, and I've seen you over there in them leggings. So we already know what we're working with.
They gotta park their bikes in InYouEndo.
Much as I hate to say it,
Right
man,
in the endo.
Boys got cake. Boys got cake.
Oh fuck, that's funny. Well, at least we're all we're all okay. And
Oh, I'm way too sober for this.
Some people are eye donors, some people are kidney donors, and he's an ass donor.
Yeah. I suppose there are worse things. At least it's being used as a bike rack and not as like a stand-in for porn or something like that. Yeah. Which I'm sure wouldn't be the first time that's probably been brought up. On to new topics. What happened last week, guys? What happened last week in Shackled City?
Just steer away from that.
Nice little segue.
It's like opening the side door on a fucking Bronco, going 45 down the highway, and just dumping all your trash out of it and speeding up.
So, are you trying to say that you've never done that?
I'm trying to say that I have, and that's why it's so specific.
Rest in peace, all of those poor little animals that had to deal with his plethora of.
Look,
you drive a Bronco? What the fuck?
My dumbass friends do.
I haven't seen people drive a Bronco in years, man. Damn.
They don't make Broncos anymore.
No, but I had to.
When do you think it went downhill with the Bronco? Was it pre? I mean, it had to be post OJ, right?
I think it's when they were putting it.
I think it was OJ.
That's kind of when
it was OJ?
Yeah.
Slowly declined.
Honestly, I think the Bronco failed at inception.
Much like the DeLorean.
You know, putting all that weight on top of a truck frame with no spread or anything like that. Yeah, I went ahead and had two of them, both of them rollovers. And the reason I got rid of it is because of a rollover.
Yeah. My dad had a Bronco and it rolled over, but he was also mudding up a mountainside, so that kind of
a little bit more
ushered in
acceptable
that.
to it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do dinner.
All right. Well. Yeah. So
do
let's
you need me for recap or?
Well, I mean, maybe we'll. I don't know. Just go ahead and eat.
All right. So while Will's recapping, it's about time you guys get shackled in for this recap. So last week, our little boy here, Cort, got knitted. He got knighted.
I got knitted by Knuckles.
He got knighted by Jarrett Skellerang after Ulhime and Cort decided to discuss what the plan was for the upcoming weeks, days. We're not sure, but the battle to come for the fight with 1,000 vamps.
Man, that sounds like incredibly epic.
The fight of 1,000 vampires?
Yeah, the fight of 1,000 vampires. Yeah, like that's a
cool
song.
Until you think about the fact that it's being headed up by the Bumblefucks.
Yeah, and it would be cool if we had all of the Bumblefucks, but we're gonna be missing one of them because he's gonna be in chains, probably executed, maybe hanged.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just realized we can call ourselves the Order of Blade and Soul. Like it's like half pun, but half accurate. Most of us use bladed weapons, and 3 out of the 4 of us have soul hopping, trapping ability kind of thing. So it makes sense.
I would go as far as arguing that 70% of the weapons of this time were bladed, so that's not that much of a stretch. However, the soul thing, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Can we call it soul and soul then?
God damn it.
But with our group, Cort expressing that he had a lot, essentially had a lot taken from almost everything, and he's still looking for the one that took his master from him. Them having a conversation about Thelsa and getting the whereabouts of Jakob. Jared essentially had him take a knee and knighted him, but only under the condition that he could stand resolute, and when the time was right, he would still have the resolve to essentially follow the laws of the city. Pushing a little further down, Ulhime went to talk with Mavu's wife about acquiring a large portion of arms and armor for the battle with the Battle of 1,000 Vampires, and she was horrified to realize that there was vampires beneath the city. Essentially expressing gratitude that she was able to help with the task, but knowing that he's going to need the finances.
Yeah.
He was also educated, knowing that he doesn't have the money, but he needs to get it, and if he gets it before this first tax gets imposed, it looks better on us.
Yeah, it will. So what are you going to do about that? I'm curious. What are your motivations, your plans here?
As Ulhime and the group got back to the bathhouse, Ulhime made a suggestion to Klaus to head to Occipitous. Seeing as we left a lot of valuable artifacts and stuff there, we could pull some of those from the other plane into this place and try to requisition large amounts of gold in a very short amount of time. So we might, whatever 8 hours in Cauldron might be from the next day, I don't know how long that's going to be in Occipitous, but that's...
Well, I mean, think back. When you guys originally went to Occipitous, you were there for...
a week.
How? A week? Yeah.
And that was 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very, very short amount of time.
If we're there for even an hour...
It should just be like the blink of an eye.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do right now. Thelsa and Cort also had a very, very intense conversation with each other. Thelsa dropping some fucking bars about cutting away that which she doesn't find
the dregs of her past.
Yeah, literally cutting away burdens on her life, and Cort getting intense, still looking for his blade, but Thelsa did not give away any location to it. She said, "I don't have it with me, but it's safe," essentially. And Cort stormed off inside, went to go check Thelsa's belongings just to make sure that it was there. When he stepped out of the door, he was met by Jared, Kiana, the Blue Duke, and 2 other guards, in which we found out Jakob was being arrested for several murders, whether they were intentional or accidental. The fact that he was being held by those was reason enough, but it kind of drove a wedge between him and Ulhime, because as far as Jakob knows, Ulhime was the last person to go talk to Jared before she showed up.
Yeah. There was a lot of time in between each of us kind of reconvening, right? Like, it all kind of came back together at the very end, but each of us had our moments. Am I hearing an echo? I feel like I'm...
Not from me.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I'm hearing it somewhere, and I'm not really sure where. But, yeah, each of you had moments alone. Some of you more than others, right? Like, we saw that private moment there with Jared Skellerang and Cort. Austin, you spent some time with Jared, and it started a little brusque, right? Like, it didn't start off super easily. He came at you with a son, and you immediately snapped to with, "Not your son? Don't call me that." But how did that go? Like, how was that entire event?
Hard. Because Jared's trying to put himself above the friend group that Cort has. And essentially trying to get him to say where everyone is in the hopes of low-key using him, but at the same time, in the sense for justice, I'd say.
Is that you thinking that, or is that Cort thinking that?
It'd be me.
It's you.
Cort wouldn't be thinking that.
So do you think...
Cort sees it as a chance for redemption, almost.
Sure. So you actually do think that he is just trying to use Cort? Do you see him as? Do you think Jared would use him as a point of manipulation?
I think he's using him to put someone he deems dangerous behind bars.
Okay.
And not much more than that.
All right.
Rather than some deep orchestrated conniving plot, more of this person is wanted and has connected to multiple murders. I want him, and the only person who will tell me where he is this person.
Do you think that you are the only one that would actually tell him?
Yeah, because Cort's the only one stupid enough to not understand that Jared's in complete trouble.
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I feel like Thelsa would have in a heartbeat, you know. And I also feel like Klaus would have as well. And it's not a matter of like throwing under the bus at this point. Do you feel like Jared is using his position to proper negative illustrations? Do you feel like he's abusing his position, or do you feel like he is just utilizing what knowledge he has?
I think he's an idiot.
You think he's an idiot?
He's doing his best.
That's fair.
He's trying to keep the city not bursting through fire like the city is constantly doing every other day.
Okay.
I don't think he's stupid at all. I think
the
fact that he's smart enough to know that he's found someone. No, but the fact that he's found someone within our group to kind of capitalize on
I
situation.
I think that he's actually smart.
That's not someone that stupid. Someone stupid wouldn't utilize.
Well,
that.
I do want to point out that if memory serves, Jared didn't ask Cort where Jakob was. Cort name dropped Jakob, and he was like, "Oh, you know where Jakob is."
Yeah.
So it's not like he's using Cort. Cort more or less supplied information inadvertently,
unknowingly,
to manage it.
That makes sense.
If
But even then, I don't think he's stupid. Just putting that out there.
I think he's stupid from a managerial standpoint.
I don't know. I think he's trying to.
I think he's adapting.
I think he's trying to make the best out of a bad situation because with everything that's going on, it's constantly just like, what more can happen? What other shoe can drop?
Exactly.
Well, it's like he won a new
perfect.
house, but the house is on fire. So it's like they're like, good luck. And,
That's good. I'm actually glad that you guys have picked up on that. I hope that I've communicated that well enough. Because Cauldron is on fire, and partially it's because of your actions. However, without your actions, Cauldron would be what exactly? Where would it be?
It would be underwater.
Well, no. For this group, it would just be overrun by demons.
It would be
no,
underwater.
it would literally be underwater already.
Yeah, because they didn't.
Well,
have
no,
very
that's
ones.
a whole different group that went ahead and saved them from the flood.
I mean,
remember,
Klaus is
Klaus.
still here though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one that has, the
I'm
common
talking
thread
about
amongst the whole game
I
has been
guess-
Klaus so far.
Yeah, I mean,
This group-
without us, then yes, the place would have been overrun with demons. They would have popped them from the griffins, and then just probably spread out from there.
Yeah, but hey, we saved him from the demons, but it turns out there's a vampire thing going on, and that's kind of our fault too. Well, not our fault, not Ulhime and Jacobs and Thelsas and Corts, but yeah, you get my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we become the best DMs for our own future fuck-ups.
Yes.
But I mean, I think
I'm still pretty sure this city would be dead if it wasn't for our
I still think
presence.
we're making progress, but it's one of those things that we're like right now. Before it was we would take one step forward and then we'd get knocked back 2 steps. Now we're taking 2 steps forward, but we're still getting knocked back in 1 step. So I think overall we're making that progress, but it's at a very, very, very slow rate. But I mean, I would say at this point any good we're doing is I guess
canceled out by the immediate shit that we bring.
No, and it's not. I don't think it's canceled out. I just think the help that we're doing is just taking a lot longer to formulate than expected. But the fact that it's happening is good. The fact that we are making a forward progress in the city, even with the bad that's still currently coming out, I think we're making a good headway.
I would go so far as to say that while we are attempting to make progress, our past actions keep cock-blocking us.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying. Like now we're actually doing something about
we're
it.
trying to do little by little, but every time we start getting a little momentum going, it's like we have to go ahead and slam on the brakes for something else.
Yeah, something else.
The easiest way I would describe this is that we're an incredibly short-sighted group, and we don't think about the consequences of our actions.
It's not that we're short-sighted. We have a goal, but every time we
I mean short-sighted as in we don't think about the consequences about anything that happens that isn't in that long-term goal. We do something and go, well, that happened.
Well, no, I'm talking about this cast of characters, not the players, because we're fuck-ups. We all know that.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that when it comes to this group of characters, we're actually making really good progress. We start moving along, things are going, and then, something sideswipes us. We will go ahead and get that shot out of the blind spot. So all of a sudden we have something that is more immediate that needs to be taken care of. Like we're trying to go ahead and take care of the Temple of Ouijas. And in doing that, we found out, oh, wait, before we can do anything else there, we have to go ahead and take care of these vampire children. Or we have to deal with the Blue Duke. Or we have to go ahead and deal with Ulhime's need to get the Spirit of Fire. So there are these things that keep stepping in, and we can't build that momentum. We can't have that series of successes. We aim for a success, and it's like, damn it, I left the oven on.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, all right. So, man, when do you think it's going to come to a halt? When are you guys going to reach status quo on your control here?
Never.
Never.
I think once we realize, I say honestly, once we finish this, if we succeed, and that's if we succeed, it'll be a good morale boost not only for us as a group, but the guard, which will have them go, if we can fucking take on vampires, we can definitely take on the last laugh. I think with that mindset, it's a very big bounce to go, like if we're fighting something that in most cases couldn't be killed, we can take care of a couple of bandits. And that's essentially that's what I'm trying to push out. That's what I'm saying. It's like at this point it's not necessarily about getting us better, it's about getting the people better. Because once the people start realizing that they're not as weak as they might see themselves, it's just an uphill trend from there. That's where you get the volunteering for people to become soldiers comes in. That's where people want to take up arms and say enough's enough. What do I have to do to make some changes around here? So that's what I'm trying to do. It's essentially I'm trying to make us, I guess, heroes, if that makes sense. I know that's what we are, but
you're trying to make
not.
us, leaders
in the community. Yeah, I'm trying to push the community back up. Is essentially what I'm trying to do.
Help me help you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, knowing now that that Will missed pretty much that entire conversation.
Will don't care.
I want to hit you with this. Just not having heard anything that was just said, because there was a little micro debate between at least three of them. Do you think Cauldron is savable?
Depends on your definition of saved.
I don't mean by the church.
I would think not. I mean, can we save it from utter destruction?
Yeah.
Potentially. Can we save it from becoming even more of a shithole than it already is? Probably not. Realistically speaking, I think by the time everything's over, I mean, it's definitely not going to be in good shape, but it may still be a town, which is kind of what we're going for.
Another question. Is it worth saving to Klaus?
Yes. Klaus is sort of on a fuck the people in power, give power to the lower caste.
You just want to fuck up the nobles. You don't really care what else happens beyond that.
Well, I want to fuck up the nobles for a couple reasons. One of which being that they have wronged me in the past, but Also, just because
They're shitty people.
He's personally seen how downtrodden and just like shit upon the lower caste is in the society.
Okay. Which nobles particularly would you say have caused you the most grief?
Lord Vermintide.
I mean, yeah, the mayor's not our friend exactly.
He was Sakata's friend, which doesn't necessarily mean he's a good friend to anyone in the party.
Was he Sakata's friend though?
He gave him platinum.
That doesn't mean you're his friend.
In Sakata's eyes.
That doesn't make like that. That's how you hire bodyguards. You give them money.
That is true.
And you allow them to protect you. Plus, Sakata was like, that was very clear his role. You give me enough money, I'll cut a bitch in a heartbeat.
He said, give me money, I'll do you a favor.
Okay. But, who else? What other nobles kind of leap out at you?
I would
even
assume
if you don't
Ike
remember their names.
Is Ike considered a noble, or is he just high up in the church?
He's just a shitter.
He's just in the church.
Okay.
Well, I will say, out of character, I want to know, after we left, oh god, what was that upscale place at?
The Morning Cusp.
The Morning Cusp. I want to know who that...
It was not the Morning Cusp.
It was the cusp of sunrise.
Correct.
Cusp of sunrise. Okay. I want to know who that shadowy figure in the back room was that went ahead and kind of sent us to deal with that dwarf. The one who was impersonating the father. Yeah. That's one that we've never touched on. That's been constantly bugging me.
Well, you remember their name, don't you?
Not a clue. I'd have to check the notes.
Splinter Shield, yeah.
I only know his last name. I don't fucking remember his first name.
Oh.
I just remember beating his son into the ground with him and his 4 fucking shields.
Yeah, you beat him into the ground? Because for 4 rounds, you guys didn't do shit to him.
No, I know. I remember vividly because they wouldn't let me chop his fucking head off like I wanted to. I wanted to fucking play golf with his neck.
You mean because we're not trying to be murder hobos?
I remember him beating your guy's ass for 4 rounds before you finally broke through his barrier.
Can't deny that.
I got my ass hit so hard I died and came back. He hit me so hard he brought me back to life, so he could do it again.
Yeah. You guys have certainly seen your fair amount of peril. And honestly, if you guys hadn't been here, then the likelihood of some of these things being achieved, maybe this town would be in ruin already. You know? Maybe it would just be some kind of fire or a much larger lake at this point.
Like a clockwork wormhole or a Bandersnatch pit.
Something. Because...
Or just washed away.
Or exactly, or washed away. Yeah. There's a lot that's happened. You guys have been the catalyst to many events and the protectors of very similar affectations. Huh. Alright, well... I think, I feel like we've covered a fair deal of things. There were some things that were missed. How did the session end?
With my ass going to jail.
Yep.
With Jacob going to jail.
Jared was hiding behind the counter, and he's like, "Whoop whoop! That's the sound of the police." Whoop, whoop.
Something like that, yeah.
I was like, "Dang, they got him."
Jacob's gonna start a new rap group, MWA Mages with an Attitude.
I hope he doesn't. That won't be good. That won't be good. All right. Anything else? Anything notable that I missed? We did touch upon Spider Frog.
Yeah, Will's a spider who's disguised as a frog.
Yeah.
You guys went to the Shining Tome.
Yeah, and that's where he became a frog.
Yeah, we went to the tome. We picked up a mask. Glassware had.
Annie, what did Thelsa do the entire time?
Be a bitch.
Evil shit.
So rude.
What else did Thelsa do?
I had the blade reforged. I went and saw Dugobras and made sure that it was taken care of, and he said that there wouldn't need to be payment since it was something that he could contribute before he left. It was said that he needed 2 days without being interrupted, and then I went back and just kind of hung out waiting for everyone to come back. And met up with Cort afterwards, and we got into a spat, and then he got pissed off and stormed away. And that's about the time that the cops came in.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. There was a little bit of an argument. Did you say that you got into an argument with Klaus? I thought you...
With Cort.
With Cort, okay. Yeah, you got into the argument with Cort.
It's hard to argue with a frog.
Not particularly. He speaks common.
Fucking watch me.
No, but I mean, have you seen him? He one, you have to argue to his dick, and that already puts you at a disadvantage.
And two, who can be mad at Kermit?
Like it's a real hard bar to achieve to argue with Klaus at this point.
Can I go buy a banjo?
Nope, but I know what wild magic you're gonna hit with tonight.
Ding, 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 ding.
Please, don't do this to me.
Klaus is just going to be hunting for the rainbow connection.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask one more question, and I'd kind of like to see where all of you stand on it, largely because I need to know as a dungeon master, so I can set you guys up in your game.
Generally on my feet.
What are your intentions? You know what? I'm going to start first with Ronald, our plotter. Ronald. Not going to give you time to think about it. I just want to see where this lands with you. What are you going to do about Dugobras?
What I set out to.
You're just going to let him die?
Once we... I mean... I gave my word.
You did.
And he understands that. So, unless he's fighting me... Unless he's gonna fight me against what we talked about, that's what it is.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Any
Dugobras? What? Oh, never mind.
What are you gonna do about Dugobras?
The reason Thelsa looked so upset was because the only person that ever looked at her like she was something more than just a demon or, just some ragged chick was Dugobras, and now she knows she's gonna go die, and she's a little upset by it. She understands that everything leaves in the end.
Yeah. Are you just going to let him die, though?
I'm gonna think of something before then, and if I can't, then, it is what it is.
Do you think your patron saint, your deity, would be okay with someone taking the life of someone as useful to you?
I think in this circumstance, since he is the one who is bringing people back to life, she's impartial.
Okay. All right. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. I figured I needed to ask, since he's not technically bringing people back to life. He's giving people an opportunity to continue living.
Yeah. Which is, from what I understand, against her code, it's those who die deserve to stay dead.
They must stay dead. Yes. All right. Okay. Klaus, what are your thoughts? Are you a firm believer that, he made his bed, he's got to lie in it?
To a degree, but I feel like being exiled from his home plane is enough to punish him. I don't feel like he needs to die for the mistake that he made. I may not agree with it, but look at the party we're in. Everyone in this party has made mistakes at some point in their life, except maybe Helm over there. Fucking golden boy.
I've made mistakes.
Like joining the party.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
Shut up, Benny.
Okay. But do you think he deserves to die?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. All right. Sniper. Does Jakob think that he deserves to die? Does Jakob intend to just let him go, let him die?
As far as Jacob's thoughts on the matter, he's a little ambivalent because he has no real ties to Dougalbras yet. I mean, he's had one conversation and he understands he's a smith. He's an asset that he would hate to lose, but he also understands that this is Ulhime's business. This is Ulhime's responsibility. And it seems like there is an open agreement between his friend and this stranger that a death must happen, and it will at least be merciful and swift. Does Jakob morally have a stance on the matter?
Does he?
Oh, God, that... I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have opened my fucking mouth. No. I think he doesn't think that we have the moral high ground on this. He doesn't believe that it was the right thing to do to sacrifice oneself for relative strangers. In a sense, he doesn't trust it, but he understands that it's towards their final goal. It's another step towards, getting back at Naphtatorin, which is more important. So it's kind of an ends justify the means thing.
Okay. And last, Cort, Red, what do you think? Is his death warranted?
Cort doesn't know Dougal, dude. At least not, like, on bro-to-bro terms. I know him because I went out to rip his fangs because he got bit by a vampire.
Yeah.
And that was Cort's only real interaction with him. And I'm still half unsure if Cort even knows that they're killing him.
Surely you have to know by now.
I think so, but even then, like, he doesn't know what he's done, because when we went to the fire plane, Ronald went to go talk to Big Boy Fireflame himself. We just kind of chilled with
I told the group
spirits.
exactly what was happening with him.
Yeah. But we weren't there to, like, hear that exact thing and pretty much the whole thing. And Cort, that would have... Cort's still going under the assumption that we're the good guys and anything that needs to get done is for a reason, and that they're not just like, this is just my friend, I feel like stabbing him, it's a Tuesday.
Okay.
He's hoping, because that's somehow how this seems to operate. Oh shit, it's Sunday? Oh, I'll go stab all my family members. Oh shit, it's a Tuesday? I'm gonna go stab a dude in the church. It, sometimes this is how our week goes.
One last thing that was not quite talked about was how you acquired a new sword.
Heartseeker.
Yep.
Heart's Desire.
Heart's Desire.
Heart's Desire. You were given the family blade of the Skellerings.
Correct. And I am now knighted by Skellerang with said sword.
Yeah. You were
replacing
not
my
knighted.
master's sword.
He did say that you were under a bit of a period. It's not like quite like just like a trial period of sorts.
I'm not suddenly Mr. Big Boy Knight, but
yeah.
I at least have a road again besides just being random dude with a sword who thinks he's a knight.
Okay. So before we spring into the game itself, I did want to let everybody know. Someone said earlier that that was a long recap. But the reason that we do that
was a short one.
Is largely because there are people that will come and go from each session. They'll miss previous details. And it's also to kind of spark their remembrance of sorts, if you will. It's to try to help them re-engage where they last left off. Allow them to remember what happened last and how they felt about it. To give everybody a bit of a kick in the memory. Plus, it's generally useful to me as well. And I feel like at points I get to pose questions that may be difficult for them to answer at the time. So,
yeah, because I mean, like today, not only did we just do a recap, we also went ahead and covered some moral positions on what all is happening.
I agree.
That and, well, we generally do completely forget about what's been going on over the last week.
You guys do. I think about this shit till the next week, for the most part, and then I'm like, all right, this is what I'm going to say to.
Well,
that's all I live for.
We left off with Jakob being taken.
Yes.
You were manacled by the Blue Duke. Not just basic manacles. Exactly, they were anti-spell manacles. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, clever bastard.
You were compliant with his needs. Because it couldn't have gone well, right? There's no way that that would have gone well if you,
I could have taken him.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that would have gone poorly. Killing the leader of the half-orcs, killing the guard captain, and his second in command. Yeah, that could have gone super good.
It only would have gone bad if there were witnesses.
Interesting that you say that.
No,
there were bound to be witnesses.
No, we would have shut Cort up good for that one. No, he was tempted to try and fight his way out and flee, but Ulhime did kind of make it clear that in this, it was best to go ahead and turn himself in. So he did, begrudgingly, and he is not fond of being incarcerated again.
Right. So, you've been ushered off at this point. You've been taken away and jailed.
Though, I do feel it's important to remind that he did specifically tell Jared that he wanted, Kiana to be kept far away from him.
Yeah.
That he didn't trust her.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Okay. I'll give you the details of what happens with your character momentarily.
Oh, please don't say, please say I don't get shanked again.
No guarantees.
And please say I don't get in. Please don't jail me with Bubba. That's all I ask. I'm too pretty.
No guarantees. So I'm going to give it to the four of you. This is going to be passed your way. Your ally, your compatriot, a brother in arms. Some of you more so than others. Nanny, this is quite literally a slave for you is taken. What do you guys do? What happens now in the bathhouse?
So, can I clear something up? Because I've heard it multiple different ways. We were outside, and then they showed up. We were inside?
Yep.
Okay, and so when Cort stormed off, he would have stormed outside, correct? And then opening the door.
You were literally like exiting the conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Because Thelsa had literally just turned around to walk away.
Gotcha. Just wanted to make sure because I didn't know if what was that direction was.
Yeah. So we're all still outside.
No, inside. We're all
Yeah.
inside after he's just been taken away.
Yep. So what happens? What does it look like inside of the bathhouse?
Ulhime looks at the group. We'll have to find a way to pardon him.
Or we could just break him out.
We're not going to break the law.
We already have. That's why he was arrested.
Well, then breaking more laws won't help.
I'm not trying
As
to
hell
have the
won't hurt
entire
anymore.
guard come down. It will. We don't need the guard chasing us around the town. We don't need to go into hiding. We'll have this sorted out.
I suppose we'll try it your way first. Where do you propose we start?
For right now, there's nothing we can do. They're probably not going to let us talk to him. And it's already late.
So we leave him?
For the night, yes. They're not going to do anything to him there. Not until they decide a trial date. And even then, there'll still be some time.
I can go over there and wait. And that way, if anything does happen, I can be there to help him.
I just don't trust them.
We have to.
Do we?
We have to keep our faith in them so they can have some in us. It's that simple.
I disagree. But, like you said, I suppose that we shouldn't be angering them at this stage. We should be trying to comply, so we'll try it your way, and when that doesn't work, we'll try it my way.
What about the vampire thing?
Can't exactly fight them a man down.
Well, if we attack the
be
guard
leverage.
and make them angry, they're not going to help us deal with it.
I never said anything about attacking the guard. I just said we would break him out.
Won't that still make them angry, though?
Less so than openly attacking them.
Look, we work within the law. It's as simple as
You
that.
do. We have a murderer in our midst at this moment.
At least one.
Yeah, at least. Just because your values are aligned with that of the law, that doesn't mean ours are.
Frankly, I just don't want to be near the guardhouse or any of the guard at this point, but I must say it was a little bit comforting having the guard captain, the Blue Duke, and the second in command come in, and none of them be intrigued in my presence. Makes it a little bit less unsettling to walk around the streets. It's something for me.
Ulhime gives her a slow nod.
So is it just
for now.
silence for a while?
I think that's the general
Uh,
error.
For a few minutes, but I was gonna look to Klaus. If you can take me back to Occipitus, I would appreciate that.
I suppose we can. I just... Despite the time dilation, I feel frankly terrible leaving him in jail.
He won't notice. He probably won't even make it to the cell by the time we get back. If we're going.
I suppose that's true. Do we have means of transportation?
Well, I've already been there, and if we need to get attuned, your blood holds the key.
Why do I not like the sound of that?
I'm not gonna drain you, just if that portal in the Temple of Weejoss is not there, then I would just need a bit of your blood and I can use it on the tuning fork.
Well, I suppose it's the only way to get us there.
If you'd like, I can go over. I can go over and check the temple, if we want to take that before any other decisions.
If you can, please.
No problem. I'm gonna take off.
Okay. Situation is as if you left it. Anytime you've entered the church, as of recently, the portal remains anchored to this plane, in this location. It's never different. There is nothing that would make you think or believe that it's shifting or moving that more than anything has even come from it, short of Klaus himself. Now that you know that, do you tell them about it? Or do you wait? Do you enter in yourself, Thelsa?
I would just head back and let them know, because I've got no use of being in there alone. It's just going to be combat for me.
Okay. You return back and you alert them to this, that it's still there.
Well, we better hurry before it leaves for some reason.
Very well. Ulhime will grab his bag, the soul ore, just so he's not detached from it. And, yeah, start making his way there.
Okay. You arrive at the temple. Again, as you have left it. Nothing here seems that it's out of place whatsoever. It doesn't appear to have been visited by anyone. Klaus, it's the few times that you have been here, it all appears the same. It doesn't seem as if anybody has come out of this place except you. It still ripples. It's a tear. A visible tear in the air around you. It stands at around 5 feet in length. It hovers just above the ground, so you can step right in. A sulfuric smell seems to emit from this. It's an exit to another place. A place much, much more awful. A place that could be described as hell. It's a layer of the abyss. All right.
I would like to be the first to step through.
The moment that you step through the portal itself, it seems to emit that stringent string of audible senses. You can hear clearly the lava flow. The whiffs of the various pustules that line the walls. The clouds of flesh that hang in the sky waiting to grab onto anything.
Would not recommend wings.
The stink is home. It's very native to you. Even in your current form, everything feels natural. Where most others would not. When you came here originally, the fleshy warm ground itself was very off-putting. It just didn't seem to make much sense. But here you move like you've moved through your own house. And without opposition. Give me just a moment. Talk amongst yourselves.
Sure.
Cort entering this realm would literally look like Shaggy now that I think about it. Because he's a normal human who's never been to hell.
You know,
why does that make you look like
I just
Shaggy?
thought about it, guys.
The shaking kind of thing.
Guys, remember the last time we went down into Occipitus and everybody basically went ahead and became super weak?
Yes.
No.
Thelsa's gonna go Super Saiyan down here.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a great place.
No, it's not.
It's like, is your character evil? Yes. Level up.
Well, luckily that's not how that works.
Plus 4 levels.
Oh, that would be great.
Wait, how does it work then? Because I know that any character with a good alignment
What's hit with a negative?
You were hit with a negative.
And
You don't
anyone
lose
with neutral
levels.
Anyone with neutral or evil alignment had no effect. Anyone with good had a negative effect, as far as I understood it.
neutral had no effect.
If you're lawful,
Evil got a positive.
You take -4. If you're good, you take another -4. So I remember being here. I had -8.
Okay, so your gain on your mic, just a little bit. It's like honestly just a minor tick does a lot of work on that. You've turned down pretty much all of the bass in your mic. I'm gonna go ahead and turn you up as well, just so we can hear you clearly.
Is that better?
Negative. It is not. I'm not sure what you just did.
Hey Ron, pull down your microphone headset on your headset.
It's not connected.
He's not using that mic.
Okay. Well, I was saying because it might have switched to that one. Because
Oh.
Discord likes to switch devices just because it can.
I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't do that to anyone else.
It doesn't do that to me.
Fucking time. I hate it.
Is that a little better?
Just like, hey,
No.
you want to use your webcam?
How far
Oh,
away
no.
are you from your mic? Because to be heard very clearly, you should probably stay about 6 inches away from the mic.
I mean, try just speaking directly into it. I don't think it's a distance issue because he's the same distance he was before.
Yeah.
Something changed. I just don't know what.
Yeah.
Better?
No.
Nope.
Did you switch a dial on it?
I mean, I tried lowering it back.
Could you tap the mic to go ahead and verify that it's the correct input?
Oh, hey! Look, it changed audio devices.
We don't
I'm not
hear that.
insane.
That wasn't his mic, was it? That was
No.
him flicking his webcam.
No, I was assuming he tapped his mic for that.
Yeah, no, that's his mic.
Yeah.
Don't be so fucking proud of yourself.
I'm sad.
I'm telling you, it doesn't happen to anyone else.
I'll find another person.
You won't. Has it even happened to you since you got
Better
your
or
computer
no
rebuilt?
changes, so-
Yeah.
Talk
I'm
again?
not sure. I'm not sure what to change on this right now.
Okay. As long as you talk loud, it won't be a problem. I'm just going to turn your volume up a little bit.
All right.
Pretend you're in Lincoln Park.
So I sound too low to you guys? That's the problem?
No, I've got you. I just turned you up to 200%. You sound great.
That is awkward then.
You sound great, Ronald.
But only at 200% do you sound great.
Okay, I'll try to figure out what's going
199%?
on then. Because there's no software to like actually use for the mic at all. It's literally just the dials that I have on here and that's it.
That's most mics.
Yeah, that's true. Most mics. Okay. All right, lads. You're here. Ulhime, you've drawn them here. You asked to be here. Floor is yours. You have intentions. Speak them.
Well, we can start backtracking if we want to the places that we had been for the trials and pick up anything that might be of value. As I said, any treasure that we can locate would probably be the best thing.
Well, there's certainly enough to go around in here.
What about the pastoral field? There were some interesting things in there, but I feel like if we were more careful, and if somehow Klaus can deactivate the weird trigger mechanism that was on it, there might be something useful there.
I certainly don't see any harm in trying. I would just recommend you keep your distance while I do so.
Yeah, I don't plan on ending up like anything that had walked past this bus.
Then we head there first.
Suppose so.
We'll start walking with Klaus.
Klaus, you spent a fair amount of time here. You know of the things that are immediately valuable. The land itself isn't. There's nothing here that would be of value to anyone short of, like, potentially a witch, right? Nothing here would be immediately valuable. However, the church. You know that there were some things that were valuable in there. To the right people, the cathedral itself had a few things that would be valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and we're going to find those things after I pull you guys to this map. Okay, so... who can't see the map? So everyone can see the map then.
I can.
No, I can't. I was raising my hand.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
just solid black, but
Yep.
it exists.
Alright, so then you can't see it. So let's get you your tokens.
Yeah,
Give me
I would
my
also need one.
eyeballs back.
That means let's go to the bathhouse and find your tokens. There's that one, this one. Pretty sure that's Cort. and that's Klaus. So, Control C, put us back on the correct map. Any better?
Surprise peek.
I can see now.
I can't.
You can't see.
Nope.
No, we don't have lighting.
Complete darkness for me, fam.
Okay, let's fix that. You have sight. That should be better.
Ah, but do we get sight beyond sight?
No, you don't. Stop it. Annie, you can see just fine.
All
Yes.
Father, give me sight.
Klaus, you can see just fine.
Correct.
Okay. So it was just him. All right.
I still don't have full vision.
Cat.
You should. Well, I guess you don't. It's just going to be the normal because it's not technically dark. So. Has sight. Boom, bam. You're good.
Thank you.
Okay.
I guess checking the first room. The weapons, if there's any left, start picking those up.
You've arrived. You're here. You're at the temple. The floor is scorched. Burned. This is probably familiar to some of you. Cort, this is likely your first experience with this.
Correct.
Some of the others can recall specifically what's happened in this room. There lies a body of a king salamander. Half a crushed corpse of a succubus. The succubus is burned, charred. Anything at all? You guys gonna...
Oh yeah.
Let me know what you're doing.
I started picking up the weapons from the Driders and then going into here to see if there was anything else.
Okay, so the
believe
Driders
giant
themselves...
spear was...
Driders themselves really had, at most, masterwork weapons, which would be valuable, but not clearly enough to net the kind of money that you're going to need. Do you have any idea how much you do actually need?
No. But, I mean... I would say, as much gold as we can get from this place, or as much treasure as we can get, is the best we can do.
Okay. So tell me when you move forward. Because most of this place is left in ruin.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that now.
You see the spear would probably have value. I don't think you guys took it last time.
No, I picked it up, did one or two swings with it, and then put it back down. So I would pick that spear back up.
It's hot to the touch still. You notice that the tip of it is colored almost a swirl of amber and dark reds, like it's almost constantly burning. It emanates enough heat that it causes the air around it to sort of ripple. It's mostly unwieldy at that. It's a large-sized spear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick and look over the succubus to see if there's anything on her person.
Sure. And there's not. She didn't really have much. All of her abilities were built in. They're native to her. Ulhime, you pass through.
Yeah.
A corridor leading down a wide hallway. A room on your left and your right.
Guess we'll check the room on the right. Where all the books. Are they still swirling?
Let me pull up some information here for you. This, let's see. Come on. What is causing that? Oh my god, there's so many pages in this book. It was past the Kopru ruins. Past Demon Scar Legacy. Okay, here we go. I think I found it. Maybe. Yeah, it's in Test of the Smoking Eye. Okay. All right, lads. The Cathedral of Feathers. The library. The ruined library with broken shelving lining the walls and sheaves of parchment littering the floor. Strangely, the library books float in midair, lazily circling the center of the room. Each book still remaining open. And the pages flip like birds' wings as they orbit an unseen point.
Ulhime will look to Klaus. Can you control them?
I have no idea. I'll sort of step in and take stock of the situation and then I guess sort of raise my hands up and see what happens.
Okay. What do you mean by take stock of the situation? Are you just kind of sizing it up or using some skill in particular?
I'll throw a use magic device in there just to see if there's something I'm not particularly picking up on.
Walk in there, hit it with a wubba lubba dub dub. Never see it coming.
Okay, I don't actually know what you're doing particularly because Red just blew my fucking mind, like normal. Use magic device. Alright, so what are you focusing on for UMD?
Probably the center point that they're all swirling around.
Okay, upon peering at this central focal point where this remains, you see that there is a sigil. It's a bit of a tear. You can't seem to make it because it's moving fairly quickly. If you focus long enough with the proper perception, you may be able to understand what's happening exactly. I'll still allow you to use that or that UMD. Wait.
Yeah, I mean,
UMD wouldn't be useful to you here. Spellcraft would be.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah. But I'll try to get a focus on it if I notice something particular.
Sure. Yeah.
So you need a perception?
Yes, please.
30.
Oh wow, even or odd?
Fuck. Odd.
For the record, you guys will have one luck reroll tonight, courtesy of some patrons earlier on in the evening. Remember, guys, you guys can put luck rerolls in the game every time we meet a mile marker, which here we're at 288, so when we hit 290, you guys will get your next luck reroll. Okay. Let's see. So you said, what again, even or odd?
Odd. Damn it.
Even. You thought you saw something briefly, but when you focus your eyes and you peer past the books fluttering and flying around, maybe it was just a trick. Maybe it was something in one of the books that caught your eye briefly.
I'll sort of step back and speak to the party as a whole and say, I don't rightly know what's going on in there, and I can't seem to find a source of it.
I could try dispelling it, see if that works.
By all means, be my guest.
We're all your guests here.
Ulhime will step into the threshold of the door, or of the room, sorry, and he will cast Dispel Magic on the swirl of book.
Oh, wow. Okay. The moment that you take a step inside, you are struck by a barrage of books. And remember, these aren't just like little light novellas, okay? These aren't basic paperback boys.
Nothing.
8 books. These are large. Very, very large. We're talking 10, 15, 30, 50-pound tomes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is your AC?
Current AC...
This is where all my
23.
phone marks keep going.
23? Alright. Fierce, thank you for subbing Piercington and Zenoma. That's going to be enough to put you guys into your second luck reroll. As soon as you step into the room and you prepare to begin casting spells, a barrage of books immediately just break away from the circle and they start striking you. I need to know if you are going to be hit or how you're affected by holy damage. Will holy damage affect you?
Seeing as I channel it, I would hope not.
No, I think it's going to. It's probably just going to take off the bonus damage. All right. Oh my god. That's a lot! All right, friendo. For each book coming down, it brings across 2d6 points of damage. And it also delivers an additional 8 holy. I don't think you're going to be struck by that. So, that's 16d6.
If he gets hit.
Take 43 points of bludgeoning damage as you're fatally struck. Or, excuse me, lethally struck.
Is each 2 dice counting as one book?
Yes. It's 2d6. It's 2d6
I wouldn't be
plus
taking
10.
damage.
Why?
So then it would just take the 10? Because I have 10 DR.
That's... But it's based off of... Your damage reduction is based off per round, right? It's not based off per projectile?
That I'm not sure. That's why I was asking. If it's individual, then it would be each...
Pretty sure it's in this case, it's based in round. Because it's all, like, you're being struck at basically the same time. Yeah, DR is usually per hit. Let's just take a quick glean. I'm gonna take a second here and scoop. Hey, Elusive, thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate that. Damage reduction. Now he doesn't have Hammer the Gap. Special abilities, damage reduction. It is a dead bit boss. I'll get that rep out in just a moment. Man, my browser is moving at the speed of smell. Okay, some creatures have the supernatural ability. It ignores blows altogether as though they were invulnerable. And it's the amount of damage the creature ignores from normal attacks. Usually a certain type of weapon can overcome this reduction. What kind of DR do you have? Just flat DR?
Bludgeoning and magic.
Okay. Separated from damage reduction by a slash. For example, DR 5 magic means the creature takes 5 less points of damage from all weapons that are not magic. If a dash follows the slash, then the damage reduction is effective. Whenever a damage reduction completely negates the damage from an attack, it also negates some of the special effects that accompany the attack, such as injury, poison, or monk stunning. Attacks that deal no damage because of the target's damage reduction do not disrupt spells. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just per the attack. Instant healing, sometimes it represents the creature's tough hide or body. The two forms of damage reduction do not stack. Instead, the creature gets benefit from the single in the given situation. So it's per the initial attack itself. It's not per the projectile. Yeah, at least that's how it's read in the damage reduction. All right, so yeah, you're going to negate 10 of that, right? So you have DR5 or DR10?
10.
All right, then you are going to negate 10 of that. You're just going to take a flat 33. And luckily enough, it is just that because it also would have delivered 80 points of holy damage.
What if they hit, though? I mean, that still goes through.
But it's holy damage. It's delivered additionally as... Like, it has a static array here. It says deliver additional damage as a positive modifier in X as holy damage only. It's like when you're attacking with a weapon and it has a secondary effect of damage. So, like, you take 10 stabbing, 5 fire, in this case. You're just taking the blunt damage from the book hitting and the additional damage from the holy itself. But because you're holy, you're not gonna take that.
It's like a fire giant not taking damage from fire.
Correct. Anyone else that would have gone through that door may have risked death.
That's why I said I remember this hallway, because that's what happened to Cicada. Or not Cicada, Sun. Sun walked in there and got pelted. That shit was ass.
Alright, I guess after taking the hit, I will back up. Is it okay if I occupy that space, Klaus?
Go for it.
Stand back 5 feet. I'll wait a few minutes to kind of regain my composure before casting, and then I will try to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. All right, so you have all the components and everything for Dispel Magic?
Components. Range. It's verbal and somatic.
Okay, go for it.
I'll use a luck roll.
All right.
18.
Can you show me the spell? Pull it up, please. You can dispel magic to end one of the ongoing spells that has been cast on a creature or an object to temporarily suppress its magic ability of the magic item to counter another spellcaster spell. A dispelled spell ends if the duration has expired. Some spells are detailed in their description, can't be defeated by dispel magic. There's no save. Interesting. I thought there would have been a save. You make a dispel check of 1d20 plus your caster level and compare that to the spell with the highest caster level. And you got an 18? 18 is not going to do it. It's not going to be enough. It's close. Bear in mind, it's very close. You do technically have a second luck reroll if you feel like you can roll better than a 7.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Go for it.
20?
20 is actually going to be enough. The DC was 19. As you do so, with a snap, they immediately plummet to the earth. They fall.
Cool. With that, I'll step into the room again to see if anything happens.
Okay. The room itself is going to reveal that there are pretty much nothing but books here. Just books. But some of these are some very, very old texts. You would need someone with probably appropriate appraise, unless you wish to bring these all back. However, it's going to be a fairly substantial amount in weight alone.
Yeah, I mean, however long it takes to go through this whole place, I'm more than willing to do. Like I said, realizing the time difference between the two places, I don't mind if we have to clear the whole place out. Like, I will do that if I need to. If I have to go back and forth.
Okay, gathering all of the books in this room, with the lowest weight being right around 10 pounds per the book itself, you amass a small collection of about 200 books. So you're probably looking in the wheelhouse of about 1 or 2 tons of parchment and leather. You know that it's going to take a very long time.
Yeah.
Do any of the 4 of you have appraise whatsoever?
Yeah, I do. I was just about to say, yeah, do you mind if I go over them and just, throw away the ones that are not worth anything? I know some of these have to be worth a decent penny with how old they are. Some of them I don't think are worth spending this much time carrying back.
I believe I can assist with that.
Okay.
The next few seconds, I would say like over the next minute, Ulhime's going to use his Archlich ability, and he's going to heal himself with his touch attack.
Your channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his natural attack that he converts into healing.
Yeah.
Over a minute, how much would that be? That's what, 10?
What is it per round?
6. Well, it's 1d8 plus 1 point per 2 hit dice, so it'd be 1d8 plus 6.
Okay, so then how many times can you do it?
It's once per round.
Oh, okay. So
I can alter
over the course of a minute, you'll be able to heal yourself completely.
Okay. So yeah.
Would you like my appraise roll, bub? I don't know if you want a whole bunch of them. But
I kind of need to know
400 appraisal
who
rolls.
is taking lead on appraise, because I know that Klaus said that he would assist. Klaus? Are you doing an assist here, or are you just trying to make your own base appraise?
Depends on how you want to treat the volume of books. If Thelsa will be appraising a group of books, or if she's going individually.
You guys can split them.
Splitting sounds good.
Yeah,
okay, all right. So then,
just the sheer mass of them.
Then it may seem like it's a lot, but I'd like to get 6 appraises out of each of you.
You want to do your 6, and I'll do mine.
Okay. All right, so inner succession we have 17, 32, 34, 30, 29, 28, a 20, 15, 27, 19, 20, and 27. Okay. These books are valuable. Some of them are a bit more rare. It's immediately difficult to determine some of their more intrinsic value based on the fact that most of it has been recorded in Celestial. If you are capable of reading, you might recognize some of the titles as being incredibly difficult to find, or some that are sought out, or they have a bit of a legend behind them. But based off of your rolls alone, you are capable of determining that there are 3 in particular that are incredibly valuable. A collector themselves would probably approach and value these very highly, but as someone who is attempting to appraise, based off of your rolls, your guess is that they're probably worth about 1,000 gold each. The others,
from the rest of them.
the others are valuable as well, but they are probably between the range of like 25 gold to like 150 gold, which would add up, but these 3 in particular, that's where all of your coin actually is.
Yeah. I would still try to, like I said, every book that we can take, which I plan on taking this library if you're okay with it, Klaus, to sell.
Doesn't bother me.
So if we have to move, yeah.
You still have more rooms to discover. There might be something here of more value.
I was gonna go to the northern.
Okay.
While they're, I guess I would do that while they're appraising, just so we have stuff to look.
Sure. I gotcha. Picking up what you're putting down.
As that happens, as I start walking out, letting them appraise the books, I'll look to Cort. Come on, boy. We got searching to do.
He's still kind of like looking around because he's still not convinced that things aren't going to jump out of the walls to attack us.
Sure.
But he will follow Ulhime, and the fact that their group is pretty fucking, yeah, I mean, we're in hell. I mean, that's, normal Sunday. Definitely is a weird atmosphere for Cort.
This is our hell.
Yeah, it's like when you're walking in a really dangerous neighborhood and the person with you just is like, yeah, no, someone got shot there last week, man. And you're just like, and he's like, yeah, no, I mean, then my bus stop is right there too. It is what it is. But yeah, he'll follow.
The meditation chamber.
Oh boy.
Frescoes of angels cover the walls of this large open room, although most have been scraped from the wall or otherwise defaced. The rugs on the floor are stained and torn, and much of the furniture, mostly chairs and end tables, seem to be missing legs or have ruined cushions. In neat rows across the room are a series of empty pedestals. 2 piles contain broken statuary, ripped oil paintings, and a lot of wooden debris.
I would start slowly moving the rubble around, making sure if there's anything in there that I'm not breaking it just by flinging wood everywhere.
Okay.
Wood and gravel.
Cort would most likely try to attempt the same thing.
All right. So, Cort, are you being very ginger about this, how you move everything around?
Yeah, kind of like when you're expecting a snake in something. Like, or like like when you saw a spider get into like a pile of clothing, and you're like, you pull away one layer and you're like waiting for it to jump on you, pull away another layer. Yeah. The D&D situation is that there's a rat in the rubble.
All right. Now that you've come back to this is your second time in this room, Ulhime. And you're looking. You're taking your time. I would like a perception, please, out of both of you.
Okay.
And I would also like for you to pick which part of the room you'd like to discover.
There's a perception check. I'd probably check this side.
That'd probably be the northern corner, right?
Yeah, I'd stick closer to the door.
Okay. All right, so you wish to basically, so this looks like this is where you're scoping it then, right?
Yeah, like kind of in this circle, if that makes sense.
Ulhime, do you just not have perception?
No,
he is Occipitus, remember?
The -8.
Oh, well, we can just take away 8 from it. That's fine.
And for me, you'd have to take away 4 because I'm lawful.
That's fine. Yeah, Cort, you're gonna find some things.
Oh boy.
In the eastern pile, you are very, very gently sifting through some of the heaps. Doing everything you can to be as ginger as possible in the situation. You're able to find a few things that stick out to you. Amidst the mess, you're able to locate... Roll me 2... Roll me 3d6.
3d6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 4, 4,
Wow,
4.
very good. You were able to locate 3 things of value, or at least what you think is valuable. You've never had to do anything like this before. It's not exactly like the Antique Roadshow, right? Like you're just not familiar with how to do this, but you pull everything out that you think might be valuable based on the fact that it's just not destroyed.
Yeah.
From the rubble, you pull a platinum antique music box. you find what looks to be a tube, a scroll, and when you shake it around, something moves on the inside. And you find coiled string. It's golden. It feels metallic to the touch, yet it bears no weight.
Can you read me the second thing again? You said it's a
tube.
One more time.
It appears to be some kind of like brass tube. Something is inside of it. This would be more akin to what they would transport scrolls or something like that, but it's much larger in just girth in general. So you're thinking maybe like a map or a painting, something like that.
Gotcha. He would probably call to Ulhime. So if you want to do his search, go ahead.
Ulhime, you got a 21.
21.
And you're on the north side?
Correct.
Based out of what you're able to locate here, there is what looks to be a lightly torn portrait of a lake. It seems to be in mostly good condition. Mostly good condition. You're also capable of finding what looks to be a black corded amulet. And the amulet itself is decorated in what looks to be some kind of raw ore shaped like a lightning bolt. And the one thing of probably mystery that you find to be the most interesting to look at is what looks to be a lamp. A blown glass lamp.
I will cast Detect Magic.
Let's see if this is all magical or not. I don't think it all is. The amulet is definitely magical, without a doubt. The other things are not. They're not magical.
And you said it had a lightning design for the amulet?
Yes, it is. The lamp itself is a hurricane lamp. If you want to see what those look like, you can Google that. It's blown glass.
And the third item was a slightly torn painting, right?
Correct. I'll need... If you're maneuvering through the rest of the room, looking in other directions, show me if of course you are. You may not.
Yeah. I'll go south side right here, opposite of Cort.
Okay.
We did two directions. What's the other direction?
You would head northwest?
Yes, northwest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Cort would go in further in.
New perceptions, please.
Bam.
From both of you.
That's right, I can just hit the up button. Woo.
Wait,
no, that's not how that works. That's how that works. That's not how that works. I'm gonna re-roll that.
I critically failed mine. With a -8, it would be like 16, I think.
Damn.
I think I'm gonna I'm gonna use that second re-roll actually.
No.
I don't feel comfortable just.
So we're taking 4 away from you, huh?
No, you're actually adding 4. I became chaotic
Yeah,
in the
so.
past. As I was shifting through the rubble, I decided, you know what sounds great? Fucking killing people. Why am I doing this justice thing? Man,
Of all the times
Thelsa was right. I should just cut out all my problems.
of all the times you didn't want Ulhime's perception to fail, you would think with a plus
23
plus a billion you would spot everything, but
we're
no.
both just gonna not.
Actually, wait, what did you get?
24 -8.
Okay, no, you're gonna miss it. So, both of you roll 3d6, please.
Can I take the 5s?
No, you cannot.
I know. God damn it.
Ulhime, I'm gonna start with you. You are able to locate A statue. Just a statue.
Is it magical in nature?
Negative. It is not magical in nature.
What is it a statue of?
Give me a knowledge religion.
18.
This is a statuette of Keurig. Keurig is a favored of Pelor. You could probably research it further when you look through those other books. Potentially when you come back to your pride and joy of the town. But you managed to miss all else. Cort.
I found a piece of rock.
Cort, you were able to find a portrait. Just a portrait. It's torn. But it's not as bad as the rest. You feel like it might fetch value. It might even be repairable.
What is it a portrait of, might I ask? Is it anything that would be describable, or is it more like landscape kind of thing?
Well, I can Google search it.
Cool.
See if it's something that I can tell you.
Easily link. Is it a painting of a rock?
Negative. It just says that it's a portrait of Sakrima the Planetar.
Cort has no idea who that is. It's a really nice painting.
I can't even tell you what it looks like. Because it doesn't offer me anything other than that.
That's fine. So it's a painting of a person, essentially. At least that's what it seems.
Of Sakrima the Planetar, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, Cort would
Oh, okay. So it's a Planetar angel, actually. It's yeah, this is a figure, so that makes sense. So this is probably the name of said figure.
You a big boy?
View, image, moving at the speed of smell, copy image location. I'll put this in the Twitch chat so you can see it.
I like Fi's idea better. Planetaurus is the
Oh my God.
size of Minotaur.
Oh, it's the fucking Birdman we domed.
No, that's a very different.
It's a brother or a cousin, or
Yeah.
not related.
Yes.
Damn, that's a fancy motherfucker.
It's Mr. X, but in heaven.
He's missing his hat. I almost
So good.
didn't notice him.
Little fucking fedora.
Okay. All right. Now,
Cort.
Thelsa, I've seen your token move. Are you finding yourself in a situation where you are looking elsewhere?
Yeah, I figure if it took them longer inside that other room, I'd start making my way towards the other rooms. The rooms we haven't explored yet.
Okay, so you're not even going to wander into their room at all?
No, I figured that choose enough for one room.
Okay. That's fair. Thelsa, when you move beyond, you move into the antechamber, or just before the antechamber, which is downward. You find before you a statue. A statue of a demon. A very large demon. One with quite a reputation to his name.
Nibithorian.
No, it's not Nephthatorin. No. No, this is a statue of Orcus. Orcus is a bit of a history, so if you're unfamiliar with him, I will show you another image. This is a good one.
I like this one.
He's a big boy. The statue looks very, very close. Very, very close.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ew.
Yeah,
I want to eat him.
he is a girthy guy.
Orcus.
More like Porcus, am I right? Yeah.
You
wrong.
eat your giblets.
Is there anything remarkable about the statue? Like, I highly doubt we're ever going to be able to move it.
The quality of the craftsmanship is bizarre. It almost seems as if he has been frozen in like cemented or alabaster himself. But that's not possible. Orcus is one of the predominant rulers of a very unfortunate part of the Abyss. A very, very powerful being. Not one that you want to cross quickly. I think that even Doom, your good old buddy Doom, would have a bit of a problem with Orcus here.
Spoop.
That being said, give me an appraise check.
4 billion platinum.
There we go. 32.
This would, for interested parties, for those that wish to find religious relics, those that wish to consort for demonology or understand the occult, this would fetch an untold fortune. Far more than hundreds of pounds of books. If you were capable of maneuvering this statue out of this plane, you could easily bolster your coffers by 20, 30, 40,000 gold.
Oof.
I'm just going to kind of walk around it and look at it, and a bit of a thinking face would come on as I'm trying to figure out any way that we can move a giant statue out of this plane. Because, sliding it across the floor and across the land doesn't seem very possible. So I'm just going to be kind of looking around it and checking it out.
Okay. All right. You peer at it casually for a little while before you realize that the statue itself was placed upon a circular altar, that it had to be moved and put there. This place seems naturally angelic. Why would a statue of a demon lord be here? If someone happened to have an ability to shift objects between planes, this would be incredibly easy.
If only we knew who could do that.
I'm just gonna stop and look over it and just kind of appreciate it until Ulhime comes about, because I'll have a talk with him. But I don't want to go and bother him when he's, working.
Sure.
I just want to keep distance from Cort because he keeps bothering me about his goddamn sword.
You wait and wait. 15, 20, 30 minutes pass by. You're certain that if you had enough strength or the ability to shift this, that this would move. That it's not been created here in this spot and bolted down. Ulhime, you and Cort have had the run of the room. You don't find anything else. At least you don't think you're going to find anything else. Maybe stepping away a while and coming back would grant you the reprieve that you need. But right now, you have just exhausted yourself, looking at every single nook and cranny of this room, finding anything that might be of value. Klaus, you're likely sick of looking at books. If I'm just being honest, that's borderline your character. After doing something for so long, you're just like, fuck it. Whatever, I'm done. You notice Thelsa borderline prancing around a statue. She seems to have eyed it.
Thelsa, I see you've met our friend.
You did not meet this man.
You think I would be standing here today if I did?
That's why I said that. This statue, it could fetch a significant amount more than I believe anything else in this place. But I don't know if we can move it. I can't move it.
Do you really think it's worth that much?
I do indeed. At least 20, 30,000 gold. to the right party.
Now you're speaking my language.
Ulhime, Cort.
Yes.
You exit the room, hoping to see your comrades when you see that they're standing in front of this enormous statue. They seem to be having a conversation. You notice Klaus's eyes go wide. For the first time, he seems even remotely interested. Even in his small frog-like form, you can tell when his brows shift.
What's going on? Did we find something?
Ulhime, you can move stuff across planes, right? At least people.
Correct.
Do you think
Why?
you can move this statue?
For what purpose? What do we need with it?
Not us, but this would be worth more than anything else in this temple to the right buyer.
How much?
Minimum 20 to 30,000 gold. In what I can tell, it is of fine craftsmanship, albeit it is an evil figure. It's worth quite a lot to the right party.
Let's see. Well, I might be able to move it. Could possibly take it back. I could animate it as well if I needed to walk a few steps.
As long as you're in entire control, because if it's animated and takes on the personality of what it is...
No.
Yeah, no.
It just lets me move and direct it to
I would
attack.
be concerned if it were to be animated that it would be damaged in the process. The less we have to shift it around, I think the better.
Well, if I plane shift it back with me and recall with it, it would be right in front of the forge. Well, at least in front of the bathhouse. From there, I can...
Shouldn't we not leave something like this outside the bathhouse?
If we're just moving it to sell, it doesn't matter where it's at. I can get a cart and we can have it moved there.
I believe that'll be our best option.
It's worth a lot, but it's going to be a hassle to try and move around.
So what do you think? What are your intentions here? How are you going to move this?
We use the power of friendship.
All right, let's be real now. How are you really going to move it?
You know those videos of bodybuilders pulling monster trucks? It's gonna be like that. We're gonna tie some rope, and we're gonna walk it out of here.
Yeah, but even those things have wheels.
That is true. Alright, Klaus, we're gonna put it on your back, and you can walk with it.
I just wouldn't fuck with that frog. If I saw this tiny little frogman walking around with a gigantic statue of Orcus on his back...
Just hovering. Just hovering
wouldn't...
away from him.
Nope. Just not happening.
You just make the frog put his arms up and hold it. Like,
He's just like...
that full arm extension above his head.
Yeah.
Just one arm like, yeah, I mean, I don't... What, are you guys shocked?
All right, so anyone other than Austin prepared to inform me of how you're going to maneuver the statue, because he's not offering me anything useful.
Look, I don't have much usefulness here aside from dragging it.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, at least you're honest about it.
I can't cast my portal spell. I left it at home.
With the capability to move it across the planes, I mean, I don't necessarily know that we need to physically move it anywhere at the moment.
With plane shift, it doesn't specify objects. It just says creatures. So I don't think I'll be able to move it with that.
If you can animate it, then is it considered a creature?
Technically a creature.
It's still an inanimate
The thing
object.
is, if I were able to lift it even for a short period of time, I would be able to teleport it with me.
Do you have that floating disc ability? tensors?
Floating disc will not carry this much weight.
Rough approximation, how much does it actually weigh?
This statue? Let's see. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5. Stands about 15 feet tall. I'm gonna guess around 5,000 pounds.
Okay. I think that's somewhat manageable.
Carry the 2 15 times.
It's easy. Just fucking toss it on our back. We'll carry it like a group. It's like carrying a couch to your friend's house.
Yeah, even with like Might of the Gods and stuff, I wouldn't be able to move this on my own.
No.
I wonder, as ruler of this domain, am I at all familiar with any large creatures that would roam about?
Yeah.
We had the things that we fought, remember?
Yeah, remember when
rhinos.
oh, yeah,
the rhinos of doom.
The thing that Austin said has a face that looks like a vagina.
Yeah, the vagina-faced rhino elephants.
That didn't make any sense.
Weren't they hippos? Not
they
rhinos?
were
Thing?
yes, they were hippos.
Oh yeah, they were giant hippos.
Because I look at a hippo's face and go, "Damn, that's what I'm gonna mate with later."
I won't put my donger in that thing.
You see that? That's where my painter goes.
Oh, oh man! You know what? I hope that one day you find a woman with a hippopotamus tattooed right there.
The teeth included and all.
Yep. Yep.
I know one with an alligator, but that's as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's all you meet down here. It's every other girl has a tattoo down there that's an alligator. It's ridiculous.
Saw one with a crocodile.
Fucking Everglades, man. Swear to God, y'all are huffing. Y'all are huffing some shit.
For a brief moment, I'll say for about 1.5 seconds, I thought that was completely true.
He did say it very confidently.
Yes, he did. He did. I was like, no.
But yeah, if Will brings that up as an idea, then, I mean, we can try to see if that works, if he can command the beast of Oxypidus to help us.
I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
When it's not in your plane anymore, do you still have as much control over it when it would go to the material?
I would guess not.
Then I don't know if transporting it back to our home is a bright idea.
Well, I didn't necessarily plan to bring the creature back with us, just to utilize it for here.
Once we get it out of the plane, as I said, we might be able to get some carts to move it back to where we need to sell it off. Most of this is going to be going to Mavu's imports anyway. His wife will be selling off this stuff for the gold. That'll ultimately fund the army.
Well, we need the money. Guess we best get to figuring it out.
Should we head outside then?
I don't exactly know how this ruling thing works, but I suppose that's a good place to start, yes.
Let's go. And he just starts walking out. Starts walking towards...
Okay. Do the four of you exit the chapel here, this cathedral?
On my way out, I'd probably take a look into the final room. Just kind of peer around, not make much note, but just kind of look in. Because I want to look at the rest of the rooms.
Give me perception. Just a quick perception. I'll subtract 6 because you are just taking a quick glance. I can't argue a natural 20. No, you rolled 2 perceptions there. Your first one was a natural 20.
Yeah. Sorry.
I can't argue a natural 20. You do find something. You find something that was missed. See, when you walked by the first time, they were shuffling through what appeared to be refuse, garbage, things that were left on the floor, in tatters, destructed, broken down. But as you peer in left and right, as you go to turn, you double take right and see on the wall that there appears to be a much darker brick or stone that is set into the wall, but it sticks out. It's that kind of stick out that you would see in a video game where you're like, I'm sure something's supposed to happen right there.
That's a button.
But how could they have missed it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and I'm not gonna say anything to the group, but I'm gonna try to examine it and press it if it's some kind of lever, or pull it if it's like a false wall.
Sure.
False brick.
Sure. When you move over to the wall itself, you see that it is, it's outwardly, it's jutting outward, probably a solid 4 or 5 inches from the wall. It's very obvious when you're upon it, but from across the room, unless you knew what you were looking for, or you had keen in a vision, you wouldn't see it. What do you do?
First I'm going to try and pull it, because I'm thinking it's like a false box.
When you pull the stone itself, it gives. It doesn't really take a lot. It is definitely stone, but it seems to be not as heavy as you originally had thought. And you're able to pull it off of the wall itself, revealing a cave of sorts. So this kind of concave feeling depression in the wall. And in the back, there appears to be something wrapped, something very tightly wrapped in cord, cable, and cloth.
I'm going to reach in and try and grab it. Or grab it.
Sure. Naturally, as you do so, it seems to give way in the middle, and you feel like you're sort of holding an hourglass of sorts, or maybe a cup.
I'd pull it from the wall, and I'd unwrap it.
Sure. When you unwrap the cup itself, you find something beyond beauty. This is something of incredible value, which for some reason has been lost here. This was certainly made by the hands of a mortal, but a very, very gifted mortal. It's a platinum chalice set with sapphires around its rim. It's incredibly valuable. Before you even attempt to begin valuing it, you know that this would fetch a fair amount. Would you like to venture to guess with an appraise?
Yep, I'm going to try.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Another nat 20. The setting of the stone itself seems like it was just naturally embedded in the material. The cut of each gem is beyond peerless in its make. The style seems to seemingly fit in any hand perfectly so. Hell, the material alone, platinum? You believe that this could probably fetch you about 3,000 gold.
I'd rewrap it, and then I'd carry it alongside me. I wouldn't go yelling at them yet.
Okay. So you're going to carry it along your side. Do you place it in a bag, or are you just going to hold on to it?
I'd rewrap it in the whatever wrappings that had come in.
Okay. All right. You take it outside. Now that you're outside with the 3 of them, Cort, you watch as Klaus begins to position himself as a leader of sorts. You find it to be kind of ironic. You're literally in hell. And a micro frog is like, here we go.
I will show you the way.
Come on, brother.
Brother, can you give me the loot, please?
Not this.
Brother, may I have some diamonds?
What do you do, Klaus?
I'm going to raise my hands and praise God.
You're going to praise God in the abyss.
No.
Listen, Saren Ray, I know it's a long shot from here. but I'm gonna need some help.
Just throwing a Hail Mary.
I'm just kind of throwing it at the wall, see what sticks.
I mean, it's hot and wet here, so it's definitely gonna stick.
Doesn't matter what you throw, it's
Yeah.
Like a wet paper towel.
That's right.
Like,
No, I mean, more than likely, I'm going to try to tap into the, because when I was here before, I seem to remember, having sort of a connection with the place, feeling like there's a mutual understanding between myself and the natural inhabitants of the area. So I assume I'm going to look inward and attempt to tap into that connection, and use it as a means of communication, even at the most base form.
Sure. Give me a use magic device now.
Not great.
It's not terrible. It's not bad. 27. You prep yourself, grit your teeth, hold your breath, grunt, whatever it is that you can do to kind of gird yourself in preparation for what could happen here. You're not really sure how this works. You're not particularly understanding of what it means to be the holder of the smoking eye. Give me a will save. Klaus, as you're there holding yourself in this position, borderline grunting, gripping your hands tightly like you're preparing for liftoff of whatever could happen. You feel nothing change in your body. But when you open your eyes again, the world is different. It's not this nebulous, flesh-covered floor, walls, and ceiling. It's something different. You see in a hazier vision, something that is more akin to an actual vision, a memory. Your eyes blink several times, and you find yourself surrounded by stone walls. A series of stairs, probably 60 or so feet away from you. You try to move, and you can't. When you peer over to your side, your arm has hooks through it. At the bicep, the tricep, your forearm, through your wrist, through your palm. Hooks through your body. Through your sides, pulling on the very flesh of your person. You realize you don't actually have skin. They've noosed your muscle beyond the hook, and they're attempting to pull you apart, yet you don't feel any pain. When you peer down, you see this splotch begin to appear over your muscle, and as it begins to pool up and show you that your flesh is beginning to reappear over your body. A person in a darkened robe. You can't see their face, you can't see their hands. They slide a ladder over to the front of you, place it against your hung body. They scale up, and with a knife, they cut it away from your very person. And this happens over and over and over again, and you can't say anything. When you attempt to cry out, nothing happens. You realize that your tongue is missing. That your lips have been sewn down, or at least what is actually there. It's odd trying to scream with no tongue. You have no lips, nothing to measure any volume. All you can do is gutturally pace. And with that, this figure, feminine in nature, peels off strips of flesh and lays it down into a vat. Your eyes roam down to it, and you can see that there are many layers of skin that have been stripped away from your person, some of it very fresh, some of it dated. But the blood seemingly seeps down into the floor, into a basin, where these people collect and they take it. upward. Light shines down from the steps, and cool air hits your body. It stings. This is the first bit of sensation that you felt up to this point. It stings, sending this stippling feeling over your entire body. You can visibly see your muscles gesticulate in response. You've never seen this before. Out of game, do you know what this is?
Honestly, not real certain, no.
Okay.
Something in Diablo?
Will be harvested.
Moments pass again before you reopen your eyes, and you're back in Occipitus. The 507th layer of the Abyss. Your home. Under your control. It is your domain. And as you call forth unto whatever might be out there, whatever demons or monsters lurk beyond, nothing heeds your call. You beckon upon thee, and you are left to your own thoughts. But you do see something moving. You hear this stone, this almost like crushed stone sound. Your eyes kind of train on the walkway before you realize that something is shifting across the flesh. A ripple of sorts. And as your eyes follow it, it moves up the entire series of steps, breaking half of the step in its direction that it leads to you. It's 15, 20 feet out. And it waits for your command. A ripple in the flesh. Something beneath the skin of the land.
Fuck. I guess I'm going to attempt to will it to move the statue back to where the portal lays.
Okay. When you command it so, what do you say? What do you do exactly?
Seeing as it responded to sort of a inner dialogue, I'm going to reach out to it in the same way and attempt to command it that way.
Sure.
Rather than speaking anything out loud.
The moment that you connect with it in the verbal headspace, the ripple, the lump of sorts, it immediately takes a shift. You see it, it comes at you like a wave before it's underneath you. And it's visibly lifted your person probably 1.5 feet off of the ground. It's like a pustule. The flesh seems to decrease in thickness, and you can begin seeing beneath it the blood that is shifting to and fro beneath. But there's no physical sign of anything. Klaus, you realize that it's not a creature at all. That Occipitus itself has bent to your command. The flesh, the living creature of your home, is moving. And as you have this vision of Orcus, the statue, in your mind, your body is turned before you can even do anything, and you start to shift, as if it's carrying you into the Cathedral of Feathers. Stone splits, lifts, some of it seems to turn over, wood seems to shatter in its wake, before you finally return to the front of the statue. You didn't have to take a step. Do you step off?
I would run and follow, by the way.
Figured as much.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna attempt to will another sort of tear or some sort of lifting mechanism, I suppose, for in a similar manner as it lifted me above the ground. I would like it to do the same for the statue.
Sure. And as such, it takes a moment, but the pedestal begins to crack. You see the statue begin to shake before something begins to break way. The pedestal begins to tilt, and I'll need a strength check, please. If you're going to try to hold it, give me a strength check.
Yeah, since it's happening on the first initial one, I'll do Might of the Gods with it.
Go ahead.
I'd be alongside. I don't know if I'd assist much, but I'd be watching.
-8, so that'd be 21.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me that strength as well, Annie.
Okay.
Now, Klaus, you are aware that despite your best direction here, you believe that the statue will not fit through the door itself. Even if you turn it sideways, it's just not going to happen. And as the land itself begins to kind of form up, you realize that it's lifted the entire platform. So we're talking this whole thing here.
Move my token back over there.
This whole thing gets lifted.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's worked so far. I'll just, when we get to that point, I'll just, tell the ground to split the doorway open.
Things begin to change in your environment. This is not as simple as just commanding it to shatter the stone. You're doing major damage to this building. The foundation of it is crumbling beneath you, as you've commanded the flesh to pierce through the stone and lift this object, and it does so. It seems to carry it, and you can see bits of plate and marble begin shifting away in various directions as it begins to carry itself out.
Can you give us a ride?
I'll do my Ubers here.
As you make your way to the door, and it follows behind you, you see it before you. It's not quite tall enough, and it's not quite wide enough. Going through here would certainly damage it. What's your vision?
It's probably going to be just about the entire cathedral falling apart and becoming a pile of rubble rather than the structure we see standing before us.
I have an idea to take out the doorway a bit more clean than just splitting it in half. If you could take a step back, but I can't guarantee that the rest of the building won't come down soon after.
At this point, this is the only thing left of value in here. Do we really care about the building?
Fair. And I'm gonna cast Disintegrate, and I'm gonna start working and taking out the doorway. Or widening the doorway.
I need you to give me a D1000.
Oh,
Fuck
Christ.
You don't expect it at this point.
Should have known it was coming. 98.
All right. Let me pull this up. I wasn't actually sure if you guys were going to get through a legitimate spell outside of Dispel earlier.
What's it be like Fireball? Something not helpful.
It's enlarged.
Enlarged person? Just make the doorway bigger. Worked out, but totally not my intent.
You actually have the one that turns the door into giant butterflies. But since we're in hell, they turn into demon butterflies.
It's the entire building.